Back in 6:25 on your Friday morning, a new year, so it's time to get our finances in order. And to help us with that, Steve Mattern, he's with Sentinel Financial Solutions, here with us this morning to talk about some easy debt reduction strategies.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. You know, so many people go crazy shopping for the Christmas holiday, and then they start the new year and say, I got to get this under control again. How can we do that, though?
I think step one's kind of figuring out, like you said, where that money is going,
What is
right?
the situation?
So, because I work as a full financial advisor, I do everything from a planning perspective. Step one is, where's the money going? So, clients that don't have a budget, they need to create a budget. We want to know where the money's going. That doesn't just work for financial planning, it also works for day-to-day budgeting, debt reduction, because you need to find out how much you're spending on, let's call them old streaming services and old gym memberships that you could reduce and get out of your budget. Another simple thing, if you just went overboard, find a side hustle that you enjoy doing.
Yeah, a lot of people can do that. When it comes to credit cards and dealing with those balances and some people might have multiple cards that they're dealing with the balances. And how do you strategize trying to work those down a little bit?
So, Mark, I'm going to give you one simple strategy. I call it a snowball.
Okay.
Let's say that you have $500 a month, because we're going to use easy math this morning, $500 a month amongst 5 credit cards. Your minimum payment on all this comes to $400, so you have an extra $100 going into the bank or to your credit cards every month.
Sure.
What I want you to do is, instead of dripping it amongst 5 different cards, I want you to take that whole 100, I want you to put it on just one credit card, and it's the card with the lowest balance.
Okay.
Once you have that lowest balance paid off, I still want you to send $500. So you now have a credit card that's paid off. You've freed up cash flow, which is very important, and you've also got a sense of accomplishment. From there, it's rinse and repeat.
I like that sense of accomplishment, though, giving you that sign that I've succeeded at this, now I can move on to the next goal.
That's very important, and that's the simplest way to do it, to get that feeling of, I've accomplished something.
How do you balance the I want to get out of debt and I also want to save so I can get ahead, too?
So sometimes that's a little bit more difficult. Usually what you get into is a combination of debt reduction, maybe even debt consolidation if things are high. I don't necessarily recommend going to just a credit card, but we've got some great institutions here in Erie. Community Bank, flagship community bank here in Erie. They've been around about a year. They're part of the Clarion network, and they've got great rates. We've also got the Erie Federal Credit Union. So credit unions, community banks are a great source to look for debt consolidation, which is going to allow you to bring down those balances better than even transferring to another credit card. So they're at least worth exploring if you know your debt level is more than just a couple of months of running DoorDash.
Yeah.
How long should somebody expect the budgeting process, figuring out where my money is going? How long should that take? Is it a month, a week? How long do you think before you kind of have a good sense?
Personally, I believe it depends on the person.
Okay.
I do a free initial consultation, no obligation, and we're going to sit there and we're going to talk about you. We're going to say, okay, Tracy, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to know each other a little bit. If somebody's super gung-ho, we can go right into budgeting and getting those items in order. Oftentimes, we do a second meeting where we start laying those things out, because not everybody is ready and not everybody is willing to go through and see how much they spend at Starbucks.
Yeah. Well, you don't always want to feel the pain of it.
Can be a painful truth, yeah.
You've got to realize where the money's going
Yeah.
if you're going to change where it's going.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming in.
Steve Mattern with Sentinel Financial Solutions offered us some advice to get our finances in order here in the new year. We certainly appreciate your input.